Mike Huber, Moneyball Hitter Magazine, lead columnist, team hitting specialist. How's everybody doing today? Feeling kind of blue today, so I thought we'd talk about the LA Dodgers. Nothing really sad to talk about except for their manager, Don Mattingly. And we are going to talk later about Don Mattingly on how his hitters hit the exact opposite of what his philosophy on hitting is. It's pretty funny and I can't wait to get to it. But before I do, I want to talk about the LA Dodgers. Um, they're third in the major leagues in hitting. They've been in the top 10 the last 3 years. Those 3 years, they've been to the playoffs. So if you don't think hitting is important, there's just another reason why right there. Um, Don Mattingly is still the manager. He was almost got fired, and there's speculation as to why, and I'm going to take an educated guess at it. And basically, I think that he tried to force his hand on his philosophy of hitting on a lot of the hitters, and it didn't go so well for him. So he had to back off because he is a good manager. He knows the game and everything. And that's just my guess. I'm not sure, but if anybody has some inside scoop on that, I want my educated guess verified because I get my educated guesses verified quite often, and I'm quite right about a lot of things because I know what happens with goes on in dugouts with managers, hitting coaches, and players, and the feuding that goes on in between that. We're going to prove that there was probably some feuding going on between Mattingly and his players quite a few years ago about hitting. So stay tuned. But anyways, ranked third, LA Dodgers, Moneyball hitting team, four-star hitters in the lineup like we want, three or four chipping guys like we want. Up and down the lineup they can hit. They're dangerous. You can't pitch around any of these guys. No wonder they make the playoffs. They got a great pitching staff like they do. They're going to contend every year. Okay? So the general managership is doing a good job of getting the players in. We want to comment about Mark McGwire. Okay, McGwire, who's kind of been an assistant hitting coach with the Cardinals, and now he was the lead hitting coach with the LA Dodgers. He was kind of learning on the job with the Cardinals. He's not so much of a mechanical guru as he is a mental guru. Kind of, he's got that superstar energy that he brings to the clubhouse. You surround him with a lot of talent. He's a good communicator, and he's down to earth, and he's not over himself. He doesn't have a big ego, so he can settle a lot of guys into championship hitting from the mental and psychological standpoint. So he's done well, and he's been placed in really lucky situations with the Cardinals when they were fourth in hitting, and now he's been placed with the Dodgers, and he's got the best out of the talent. Okay, so if you're a major league hitter and you don't know a lot about mechanics, stick to the mental and the psychological side. And I think McGwire is smart enough to do that. You sent him out to the San Diego Padres, who need a lot of mechanical help with their swings and stuff. He wouldn't be. He'd get frustrated. Okay, but Mark McGwire belongs with a championship hitting team, and he can get the best out of him, I believe, and he is. So kudos to you, Mr. McGwire. You really helped out Puig this year, Yasiel Puig, who had 296, 16 home runs, who's usually a slump meister, and he didn't slump much this year. So I believe that Mark McGwire really helped settle him in. And, McGwire, did he maybe save Mattingly's job when he came in and settled the clubhouse down? Mattingly's a fiery guy, and, maybe pushed some of his hitting philosophies around that wasn't working. And so McGwire settled these hitters down. For Puig especially, Matt Kemp hit 297, 25 home runs, star player. Hanley Ramirez, 283, 13 home runs, star player. He hit near 280, and you're near 15 home runs. You're a star player in this league. Adrian Gonzalez, stud, 276, 27 home runs. High-end chipping guys like Juan Uribe, a wily veteran who just keeps getting better as he ages. It's unbelievable. 311, 9 home runs. Carl Crawford, 300, 8 home runs. Scott Van Slyke, 297, 11 home runs. D. Gordon, 289, 2 home runs, their leadoff hitter. Okay? So you combine a couple of those guys, you know, they can combine 1-star hitter right there. So they've got 4-star hitters, possibly 5 or 6. They got all these chip-in guys. They only have 1 or 2 bad hitters. Ethier, Ellis, Rojas, Butera really didn't do much, and they were kind of stationed in from time to time in the season. But Mark McGwire, good job. And you know, these hitting coaches sometimes get lucky. They're placed in with good teams, and they can kind of sit back and enjoy the ride and really pick the psychological brains of these players and let them know what it takes to be a superstar. Because it's not easy to be a superstar. You're watched a lot. Everybody's got their eyes on you. You have to be consistent. You got to keep on putting up the big numbers. Okay, so a guy like Mark McGwire is not going to let anybody fail from that standpoint when they were already good coming in. A lot of these players from the Dodgers were, you know, not developed players at all, but guys that they got from free agency, and you know, they're getting them to hit at a high level. It's all about results when it comes to us evaluating Moneyball magazine, evaluating the hitting coach or players. If the results are up and down, then you know half as much about hitting. If the results are consistent, you may get lucky and you got stuck with a good team. Okay? Or you know what you're talking about and you're a good hitting coach, like I think the San Francisco Giants guy is. Okay? So it's all about development. It's, you know, it makes me wonder because, you know, I could tell that McGwire's a good guy. I can't tell what type of person Mattingly is. If anybody knows the inside scoop about that, if the players like to play for him, if he's moody, or I think he really manages a good game. He knows who to put in and how to put the lineup in and all that sort of stuff. You know, I do know that we're going to call out Don Mattingly today because he's got some videos out there on hitting. He's got some products out there in hitting that he's making money off of that have nothing to do with how he swing, have nothing to do with how his hitters swing, have nothing to do with how good or great hitters in the major leagues swing. And he basically repeats what Little League, high school, a lot of college coaches and even the minor league coaches repeat time and time again, and it doesn't work time and time again. Hands to the ball, downward path to the ball. It doesn't work. I've tried it. I've been doing this for 25 years. I got 3 times much as results as doing the exact opposite of what Don Mattingly preaches in these videos that we're going to show you. Okay? Now, I once saw Don Mattingly's son. He was about 16 or 17 years old. He was on a really high-level travel team. What a talent this guy was. Lightning quick. I mean, he must have ran a 6'3", 6'4", 60 or something like that. He was a leadoff hitter type of guy. I was just watching the game. And then I said, I want to see how he swings. This guy swung straight down on the ball. It was almost like a chop. I couldn't believe it. And that's when it started to open my eyes. I said, this is Mattingly's kid. He doesn't swing anything like his father. Is Don Mattingly teaching like everybody else? Well, as I find out in the videos, they are. And let me tell you, after 25 years of coaching and knowing things about the downward swing and the psychological negative aspects it has on somebody, I've seen fathers force their sons to swing down on the ball and have a terrible relationship with their son just because of that. I've seen ex-pro players, ex-college players, ex-really good high school players who've been programmed to think that they're swinging down, even though they might not have, to teach their sons to swing down forcibly, and just ruins the father-son relationship, and those kids don't hit. I've seen more kids that don't hit to their potential that are ex-players' sons, ex-coaches' sons. It's crazy. It's like one time I worked at a special ed school. It was a private school. Okay? All the kids were learning disabled. Half the parents in this school were psychiatrists. And all the kids were on drugs and stuff like that. Okay? And just whacked out in the head. So don't buy into this professional, pro, big league crap. And these products that they throw out at you too. We're calling you out. Moneyball Hitter Magazine has the authority to do so because we get results wherever we go. Our formulas work. We know about the Moneyball formula. We have a Moneyball training formula. And we're doing the exact opposite of what you, Don Mattingly, and the rest of the cronies in the minor leagues, college, high school, who followed downward swing principles, Charlie Lau bullcrap, who set hitters back, as Ted Williams said, 30 to 50 years. We're calling you out on this stuff. If you make money off of crap, we're going to call you out on it. Okay? If you are an ex-Hall of Famer or an ex-pro, and you're signing on to products just to make money, not knowing how bad it is for hitters and how many hitters that you've probably ruined their career because they just hung their hat on your stardom, okay, you puke on yourself, to be honest with you. So, Don Mattingly, we're going to show you the philosophy, the video to everybody out here, okay? Now, if you're one of those guys that likes to hang their hats and likes to kiss butt to professionals, whatever they say, if he's a Hall of Famer, he must know. All right? We're not going to listen to Moneyball Hitter Magazine or Mike Huber, who says that learning how to hit is the most mystical, scientific, deep-thoughted process that you'll ever go through in your life, and that no one person or professional, 99% of them don't even have a clue. And Don Mattingly and a lot of the other ones, most of the hitting instructors in Major League Baseball, haven't a clue how they hit or how to teach it or anything. Okay? So make sure you listen to Don Mattingly's video. Okay? Don, people like your video, and you look pretty convincing. I'm going to send some sales your way. Okay? Or, Don, people are just going to wake up and after some time, because when you know that you did something wrong, and especially if you made money out of something that you did wrong, if you have a conscience, you try to go back and undo the wrong that you did. And I'm talking to you, Joe Mauer, with that quick swing that you got. Okay? And I'm talking to you, Don Mattingly. I'm talking to you, Ken Griffey Jr., with the swing rack, that the swing rack goes straight down and you swing straight up. I don't know if you have that thing anymore, but I burned a few of them. All right? If you've got a conscience, you should publicly go out and say, I was wrong. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just programmed. I'm sorry. If you got the money, give them your money back too. All right? It's ridiculous. And this V grip that you got, Mattingly, where it lines up the small knuckles, you know, you've been taught this ever since you go to any pro camp. Line up the small little knocky knuckles. It's going to keep your hands loose. When you ever grab a bat naturally, the knocky knuckles are lined up in between the big knuckle and the small knuckle on the bottom, just like Ted Williams said to hold the bat, which is a natural grip, which actually gives you more power. The wrists snap right on time. The knocky knuckle grip, it just limits your power big time. I catch it all the time with kids. I said, "Hey, you been to a pro camp lately?" "Yeah, yeah. I went to Chicago White Sox camp. They told me to hit it like that." I said, "Can you hit for any power?" "No, that's why I'm trying to see you." Okay, well, this is part of the problem. So we'll show the V grip, Don Mattingly's V grip. He didn't even grip the bat like that. Okay, but he's hung out and networked with all these other professionals. And they want him to be the spokesperson for the standard way of doing everything. We know Don Mattingly didn't make that up. Okay, somebody chose him to be the spokesperson. And when he speaks, he's pretty, people listen. He's got a dominant personality about him. You're convinced. Oh boy, Don Mattingly thinks that he knows. This is what he says. This is how it must be. Okay. Truth twister. We're calling out the truth twisters here at Moneyball Hitter Magazine. All right. Now, just for kicks and giggles, I'm going to throw a video of Mark McGwire swinging when he's an older guy. He's a hitting coach. I don't know if he's with the Dodgers or not. He probably is. And I'm sure McGwire has been trained by maybe the rest of the guys in the minor leagues that you can have a downward swing. He knows not to say anything about the mechanics of hitting and stuff like that. I think he's just kind of sitting back going, I don't know what to think or believe, and so here's a video of him with 3 swings. 2 of the swings, he tries the downward swing and just looks silly doing it. And then the 3rd swing, he says, "Oh, what the hell," and just lays back on one. Mattingly, were you back there telling him to swing down? Telling another Hall of Famer to swing down in that video? I didn't see you in there. I didn't catch it. Maybe you viewers can see that. Okay. So, LA Dodgers, you're going to be there for a while. You got a nice core group. You've proved that you can hit. You've got a good guy in your corner with Mark McGwire. I think he's starting to. He's figuring out a good way to get everybody the results that they need. And you're going to be there for a while. You're going to be at the top for a while. You got a tough division though. Colorado, top hitting team. All right. You got Arizona Diamondbacks. They're okay. But you got Colorado to contend with for sure. And you got San Francisco. Okay? So, you might get on. How are you going to win the division? I don't know. Well, at least you get in the playoffs. It's all about getting in the playoffs. Okay? So, Mike Huber, Moneyball Hitter Magazine. Thanks for joining us today. And we'll talk to you next time.